Greetings everyone at Pariah Pack II. This is Naran. I've gotten a few requests to do some videos about wolf communication and how to sound and act like a wolf, running, growling, howling, and whatnot. First off, I want to say I'm very glad that this pack is back and active again. For a while there, I know it went inactive, but I'm glad to be back, and I have had some great conversations with some of you guys already, and I want to kind of just start off with some basic stuff about facial features, type, body language, and you know, stuff like growling and howling and yips and stuff like that. And I may have to end up doing more than one video. Probably going to have to do three separate videos, one on howling, one on running, and one on kind of just the body language in general. This one is going to be about more just the facial features and the shorter stuff like the growling and stuff like that. So I think that I'm trying to remember what the post said, but it was a forum about wolf communication. On there should be some additional information on you know, a little bit about wolf communication. There's a lot more body language than you would think, just in the face. And like, I mean, sometimes a smile could be, you know, I'm relaxed and happy, but other times it could mean that, depending on other facial features, that they are either intimidated or worried or possibly even sick. So you see kind of like a pained smile, that's probably more of a worry than a you know, something more just relaxed. And also too, it can be from fear. Like if there's a snarl, if a wolf is snarling and his corners of the mouth are back kind of in a smile, there's some feeling of intimidation there, but the corners of his mouth are forward, and his ears are forward, and he's tall and confident. That's more dominant. So it just kind of depends. So I'll show you two different snarls. The first one is going to be it's going to be more submissive, and then the second one I'll do my best to be more dominant. Because of the way the human mouth is shaped, sometimes it looks like I'm smiling, even though, or you know, a little bit of my mouth, the corners of my mouth are back further than they should be. So this one is more submissive. And a lot of times they will be, you know, submissive is more staring away, averting your gaze, but it doesn't, when I say more submissive, it's not necessarily submission. You know, it just is less confident. So you know, if you're growling and you're doing a threat display, just because the corners of your mouth are back a little doesn't mean that you aren't going to bite, you know. That's why there's something called fear aggression. But usually wolves, I mean, especially within the same pack, even if they move up and down in rank, they don't try and kill one another. I mean, it could be from a rival pack, but within the same pack, usually each pack member, even though Omega is too valuable to injure, especially to injure significantly. So most of it is about dominance and things within the same pack. But you do, I mean, there does, you know, come a fine line between where, you know, routine dominance is down here, and then, you know, tension, and then aggression is up there. But I feel like the confidence-wise, threat display is a little more in your face. Now, I know that looked very strange as a person doing that, sort of like a train wreck, but tongue, even though it's a little hard, they flick their tongues a little bit and curl sometimes with threat displays, and that usually means that they mean business. They're not just, you know, kind of a growl with not much of a snarl means a lot, or even just a lip curl without the tongue is usually less intense. You'll be growling like this. And even though I had the lip curl and direct eye contact, the tongue wasn't there. So that's a step down, a little baby step down. Some wolves will just assert dominance very passively, you know, with a chin rest or something like that, with not even snarling at all. Or they just stare, you know, they just give direct eye contact, called the alpha stare. And that's sometimes all you have to do is stare and growl with no facial expressions at all, just staring. So it is kind of a, you know, there's different types. And there's also, you know, times when wolves growl that they're just playing, especially like if you've ever seen a dog with like a toy and you're kind of playing tug of war with the toy. A lot of dogs will growl, and it may sound very ferocious, but it tends to have a different sound to it if you pay attention. It usually starts off soft and gets a little louder, and then soft and then loud. And unless your dog is really possessive over that toy, it's not usually aggression, it's just growling playfully. So that kind of sounds like this. And a lot of times they will be pulling on stuff with their teeth, and that's part of the coughing type noise, is that they're just having so much force pulling back with their neck that it creates that type of sound. Now, there are also a few things with kind of just human. You're limited on. A lot of people. I mean, the human voice is a chameleon, but a lot of people. You know, some people get it more than others and stuff like that quicker. But when it comes to facial stuff and features, it can get a little challenging, especially with ears, because yes, I can move both of my ears front and back, you know, this way and independently, but only at like a centimeter. And you know, I've never met any person that could flatten their ears, you know, like that. So, you know, muscle-wise, you don't have as many, not nearly as many muscles in your ears than, say, a dog or a cat or, you know, any horse, anything with any four-legged animal with ears. So part of that is a little challenging to show on video camera, because it is such a small little hair of a movement. But as far as other things go, that the growling is a lot to do with, it's very throaty. It's almost like that's where it originates. Not so much up here, but in your throat, and when I growl, I'll even feel it in my chest. I mean, it's that big of a vibration. So it's almost like vocal cords or bronchial cords or something are vibrating. And you will get sore. If you've never growled or tried to growl before, you're gonna get sore, because it's a lot of it's a lot of muscles in the throat that we don't use as humans. Almost every animal can growl. I mean, cats can growl, raccoons can growl. I mean, so and the more you do it, the less sore your throat's going to be. But at first, you want to give yourself a few breaks, especially if you feel your throat getting sore, because if it gets too sore and you just keep trying and keep trying, it's gonna be even harder. Your muscles are going to be so sore that they're not going to do what you want them to do, even if you know even if you've just learned how, and you know what muscles you need to use in your throat, you're still going to not going to be able to keep it up for an extended period of time at first, until your muscles kind of get used to it and broken in. I know that sounds kind of strange, but it's something that initially is gonna bother your throat a little bit, and just progressively, if you keep, try like once or twice a day for a few minutes, like no longer than 15 minutes, or 30 minutes. That'll do you better than sitting down and trying for like 2 hours straight. So it is something that I realize not a lot of people understand, but it is fun to kind of screw around with people a little bit, like especially if you're not having if you don't make any facial expression, and you can even look like you're asleep and growl, and people are like, where the hell did that come from? They're looking around for some like mean dog somewhere. So it is quite fun to screw around with people a little bit. But before I go, I want to just give a little bit on kind of whining and yelping. Whining is more anxious, or kind of like, hey, look at me, pay attention to me. Kind of the more yelping type things are, okay, that hurts, stop, it hurts. So whining, everybody's whine is a little differently, just like everybody's howl is a little different. I tend to kind of whine more in my throat than I do from my nose. And it's just, it's more of a anxious thing, or kind of almost like a, it could be puppy thing, I don't know. But it's either, usually dogs do that from, being separated from you, like separation anxiety, or because they're nervous. Sometimes you may hear a more painful whine. And that could be like a little bit of a, okay, that hurts a little bit, or maybe have some kind of something internal going on that hurts them. I don't know. But they'll let you know if you're roughhousing, especially pups, because pups don't know how hard to bite and how soft to bite. So if you watch pups and the mother, sometimes the mother will discipline them by dominance, but sometimes it'll just be by a yelp. And I'm sure you've heard a dog do that if you've stepped on a dog's tail by accident, or a dog's paw by accident. They'll make that same noise. But it's kind of just, wolves and dogs are very similar, and the fact that dogs descended from wolves, so they have a lot of the same, communication. Only dogs are a little more barky. But stuff like that is kind of the shorter things to learn. I do want to get into, in some other videos, get into some more body language stuff, possibly a running video, and howling video. I'm not sure when I'll get that out there, but I just want to thank you all again, all the people at Pariah Pack. I am so grateful that this pack is up and running again. Alright.